What if I were to tell you that the next 3 weeks might be the best time in all of 2023 to buy a home if you're currently in the market? My name is Jacqueline Smith with Century 21 Arizona Foothills, and I've been representing buyers and sellers here in the Valley for 34 years now. I started when I was 10. Yes, just kidding. Anyways, I'm also a native here, so I know our market really well. But let me explain before I get the Crash Bro fans and all the haters sending me emails that I'm absolutely crazy, that it's not a good time to buy, that our market is crashing. I'm going to explain to you why it's not and why now might truly be the best time to buy. But here's what I will tell you. I would never push anybody. It's not my style. I never have. I will tell you, if you're working with an agent, sit down and talk to that agent. Talk to your lender right now, because some agents are even out of tune. Everybody's busy getting ready for the holidays at the moment, and not everybody's paying attention to what's happening in the market. So typically, every year during the holidays, we will see inventory start to build prior to Thanksgiving, and then we will see it start to decline as we get closer to Christmas. Any of the sellers that are on the market now are serious sellers. And we're always going to have serious sellers, whether it's for a job transfer, a divorce, a death, but there's always going to be some sellers. Now, we all know we've had a crazy market the last 3 years. And unfortunately, myself and Ruby, we've also had buyers that got sidelined. They started trying to buy a home in 2020, 2021, when interest rates were crazy low, which we will never see 2 and 3% again. Trust me. So if you're waiting for that, don't keep waiting for it. But it is going to get better, and it's already starting to do so. But we had a lot of buyers that, unfortunately, our Phoenix market was hit heavy with investors. We all know that. And a lot of our buyers got beat out by cash offers. And unfortunately, a lot of the first time home buyers are the ones that paid the most for it, because they just had no chance whatsoever. And it was really unfortunate. I mean, how were you going to compete against an investor coming in 50,000 high? I mean, we had the iBuyers that were even overpaying for properties and then had to sell them in 2022 at a loss. Anyways, we've had buyers that have been sidelined for 3 years. 2022, when the rates went up like crazy, super fast, and we hit 7%, our market came to a screeching halt. And it even caught me off guard. When the market came to a screeching halt, we went into the spring of 2023, the market took off. It's almost like people became accustomed to the sixes. And that's where we were. We're in the mid sixes at the time, teetering at 7%. We had a really hefty spring market. We saw multiple offers again, and we saw inventory shrink. We saw people letting go of inspections at times. We didn't see so much of the craziness of people paying 25, 50,000 over, but we were seeing on average 5, 8, 10% over list price, people paying slightly more than what the appraisal came in for. And it surprised everybody. I know it even surprised me. I did not expect our spring market of 2023 to be the way that it was. Then rates kept going. And then, as we all know, we hit 8%. Actually, a little over 8%. And again, everybody thought the market's going to crash. Well, what's happened is we have had, prior to Thanksgiving, quite a bit more inventory come to market. In fact, faster than 2022. But prices haven't adjusted all that much. We've only had about a 3% decline across the board in the valley. Now, while inventory has built and we're running in the 15,000 range again, we are going to start to see people pulling their houses off the market, and it is starting to happen, and it's going to happen at a faster rate the closer we get to Christmas. But unfortunately, what's also happening, and I say unfortunately, is our rates are, well, it's not really unfortunate, but I'm going to explain why it's unfortunate in a second. Our rates have dropped quickly. So we went from 8.1% approximately to, I am actually seeing some lenders quoting for FHA and VA in the high sixes, but we're averaging about 7.13% right now. Now, here's what I think is going to happen, is that the people that aren't paying attention and don't take advantage of this time, As we have the homes come off the market for the holidays and then we go into the spring market, I think our rates are going to drop even more. And here's why. Oh, sorry, guys, my phone. So typically, the 10-year and the 30-year fix normally have a spread of about 180 basis points. But because we had such a volatile market over the last couple of years, and the banks were nervous, and nobody really knew what the Fed was going to do because the Fed was kind of confusing at times, honestly, the basis point spread grew to about 300 basis points. Now, in the last month, that has shrunk, and I think we're about 190 basis points difference now. Rates have gone from the 8.1, like I said, down to about 7, but we still have almost 100 basis points to play with. And I think people are starting, at least the banks are starting to feel secure in thinking the Fed is done. The numbers have come out good. And so we're pretty sure, I think the banks are pretty sure, that the Fed's not going to make a move in the December. Now, there's a lot of speculation of when the Fed might cut rates, but take that off the table. Whether they cut rates in March, April, May, June, July, I don't care. We still have another 100 basis point spread to play with. Now, remember I told you, the holidays is always the best time if you're a buyer to make an offer. And here's why. Because the sellers that are on the market are serious sellers and they have to sell. And the same thing with the builders. Don't think that you can't go into a new build. And even if they're saying, oh, we've got these great sales right now, we've got 50,000 off and we're offering 10,000 in concessions, you can still negotiate. They want spec homes, especially off their books before the end of the year, or at least under contract. So these next 3 weeks could be the best time. And don't be afraid. Talk to you. Again, I'm not trying to convince anybody to buy, but if you are in the market or you've been sidelined and you're waiting for that perfect moment, this might be it. If it doesn't work out, that's okay, but it's worth trying. So meet with your lender, meet with your agent. If you don't have one, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be glad to sit down and help you evaluate your situation. Everybody's scenario is different. It may not be the right time for you to buy, and it might be the perfect time. I would not be afraid of going in, offering a seller below price, asking for concessions, because here's what's going to happen. And the same thing with the new builds. If we go into the spring market and our inventory has dropped and the rates drop another percent, the spring market's going to take off like crazy. And we're going to see multiple offers and over list price again. If I were a buyer, I would be trying now. Anyways, that's just my little 2 bits of advice. And again, if you need some help figuring it out, feel free to reach out. Be glad to help you. Thanks so much, and I hope this gave you some good info. If it did, I've started a new channel here. Subscribe and like, it really helped me out. Thanks so much.